Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for an absolutely stunning looking Honda CR-V. This is a 2-litre automatic, and it's the black edition car, of course. You can see there it's fitted with the side steps, the full kit, these fantastic looking 19-inch alloy wheels. The car's covered just 39,000 miles, and aside from the service we've just done, all of its servicing has been done by the Honda main dealers. Is in really beautiful condition. The front of the car you can see with the black grille, lights, lenses completely clear and intact. Front bumper very clean, as is the bonnet of the car. Hardly exhibits a stone chip anywhere on there at all. Near side, passenger side of the car, absolutely mirror smooth in the panel work. Front wing unblemished. Near side front alloy, the one takes all the bashing. It's got hardly a mark of any note on there at all. Worth pointing out, Pirelli P0 tyres all round on this vehicle, which is a lovely sign of ownership. Near side rear alloy, again absolutely unmarked. Probably my favourite angle for these cars. I just love the from the back with the high level spoiler and the side steps. It's all very subtle, but it works brilliantly. It's just makes a standard CR-V sort of look relatively plain by comparison, in all honesty. It is lovely there. Obviously the privacy glass as well. Offside of the car, again absolutely mirror smooth on the panels. Back wheel there, offside rear, again completely unmarked. And the remaining panel work is absolutely fantastic. It really is in lovely condition, this car. And then final alloy, again, beautiful condition. Just coming to the back of the car now, absolutely enormous boots on them. Quick release rear seats, and it's been kept in absolutely lovely condition as well back here. Coming to the back of the car, in absolutely lovely condition again. And again, that's not always the same with CR-Vs. They are family cars, and that means they can be bashed about in the back. But this one looks like it's hardly been used in the back at all. It's in just wonderful condition. And they offer a huge amount of rear leg room. Bear in mind those seats in the front are set for me, and I'm over 6 foot tall. So front passenger door card. All the door cards are in beautiful condition, including all the little recesses. Footwell areas. Again, all very clean, as is the passenger seat there, which has seen very little use in its life. Finally, driver's door card. Again, all absolutely lovely. The footwell areas all very clean and tidy. And the driver's seat, the one that takes all the wear and exhibits virtually nothing at all. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated as they always do. The dashboard looks pretty much as new there. Sat nav working perfectly. And if I pop the car into reverse, you get that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as intended. But it really is in fantastic condition in here. Just to show you, by the way, that tiny little piece of trim just there, I accidentally knocked off. That was my fault, so I apologise, but that is being replaced, so don't think it's going to be left as it is. As you can see in there, 39,395 miles, and the only warning light showing is low fuel on the car. Obviously once that's gone, the warning light goes out. But it is in absolutely stunning condition in here. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack and locking wheel nut, owner's manual rather, and locking wheel nut key both here and present with the car. So finally, just to come under this absolutely beautifully presented engine bay. And what a joy to see an engine where you can actually see all around the engine those stupid plastic covers to hide it away, to make life hard to do basic maintenance. And just a wonderful engine. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2-litre automatic black edition car. This particular car is registered ML15VJJ, and mileage at the start of the road test is 39,389 miles. The reason we do the videos, as I say, in each and every one, is very simple. It's basically because we want people to see the car in operation, and it must be the same car that you're seeing in the advert. Reason we do it's because basically we know to our own cost how frustrating it can be to go and see a car, travel a long way, only to get there to find out it's actually got a fundamental issue, which you should have been told about before setting off. That way you can make up your mind whether it's worth a trip or not, obviously. So it is critical in that sense. It's also done on part of the road test route any prospective buyer would go on, and the reason for that is then it should be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, I tend to go through the mechanical bits one by one, starting with the engine, which is always a very good place to start in a Honda car. Engine starts, you push key start on the Black Editions, it settles to a completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car, aside from a low fuel light currently, but obviously fuel will soon extinguish that. Temperature gauge running as the third, and that's exactly where it's meant to be on one of these cars, whether it be a petrol or diesel, makes no difference at all. And the engine's been running for nearly 2 hours now, so clearly up to full operating temperature. The engines are just utterly brilliant, they really are. It's typical of Honda's engineering. They're wonderfully free revving and got a mechanical refinement in operation, which is extraordinary really, because they're so keen to rev, and they just don't seem to get harsh. The revs pile on and it stays sort of so machine smooth. They're also cam chain driven, there's no cam belts on them, so there's no big service looming, and they've got a reputation for, lasting massive mileages, and reliably so, with just normal maintenance. They're not a fickle engine in any way, shape or form, and it's just lovely to use day in, day out, and it's matched very nicely to the automatic gearbox. The auto box, typical Honda again, very slick in operation. The gear changes are really nicely judged, and they're spaced out in terms of the ratios to extract the best of the performance, but also keeping in mind economy on the car as well. Even though they've got a reputation for being incredibly strong, the boxes, we've never touched one in all honesty. You should still do the obvious checks, just make sure when you're at idle now, putting it into reverse and drive, there's no thunks or clunks, and each gear change should be very smooth, and they're all but imperceptible. Steering on the car, lovely on the CR-Vs, really nicely done for this type of car. It's obviously not a sports car, but it's actually very direct, very accurate indeed in operation, and just really nicely weighted, so it makes the car feel nice and secure and solid on the road. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all, and I'm currently at the legal limit, so there's literally nothing at all there. It's a bit of a pet hate of mine, in all honesty. Chassis of the car, what I'm looking for when you're hitting the bumps, and this is a particularly bumpy bit, which is why I tend to go down this part, if there's any kind of knocking noises or rattles coming from underneath the car that shouldn't be there, then it would show up, but there's nothing at all. It's exactly as it's meant to be. Having said that, all this is going to be checked because the car will be going off for an independent MOT within the next couple of days, so obviously they'll be checking all these things anyway, but as it stands, no issues at all. The chassis also gives a really lovely balance between a very comfortable ride on the straight ahead as I am now, but also impressive body control through the corners. A lot of SUVs tend to loll up about and roll. These have brilliant body control in that sense. It just keeps everything in check, which is particularly important for obviously rear seat passengers who may not be concentrating on the road ahead, and that's where you tend to get car sickness. But it's so well done on the CR-V, but it is the best-selling SUV in the world, and it wouldn't be that if they hadn't got it right, and this is just a lovely machine to drive. Just going to get around the corner here and give the brakes a bit of a shove. Make sure no one's directly behind and hold on to things, but for nice solid brake pedal, pulling the car up nice and true, no sort of nasty vibrations or pulsing coming through the brake pedal, so all in good order there. Looking around inside the car, the first thing, which is obvious as soon as you get in and drive these CR-Vs, is just how well built they are. They are brilliantly put together cars. There's no rattles or creaks from them. Just a beautifully engineered car in every sense. It's also got a lovely interior. You've got a brilliant visibility and view out of the car. Big wing mirrors. You can see a bonnet, which is a rarity on cars these days. So it's not intimidating to drive. But you've also got a dashboard which, whilst it's very well equipped, is actually so simple to master. Once you've driven the car for a few days, it all becomes second nature very quickly, and it's not overdone, which I really like. Obviously you can see the sat nav working perfectly there. Air conditioning's absolutely ice cold, and it is a dual zone system, so you can have different temperatures side to side if you so wish. Dashboard, minimalist in information given, which I actually really like, so it's not over fussy, but it gives you all the information you need, sort of your speed, revs, fuel and temperature gauges, but nicely presented to you. Daft thing, but the steering wheel I've always liked on these as well, because it's actually quite small in diameter, and compared to some other manufacturers who tend to give you quite big unwieldy things, it does make the car feel more nimble than it perhaps it actually is. It's just a really nice steering wheel to hold, and it feels as new in hand as well, by the way. But as I said at the start of the video, the point of it, it's only brief, but it's literally just to show the car driving along. But as I said, feedback on any issues, and there's nothing at all. It drives beautifully solidly. I can't differentiate between this and a new one in terms of how it drives. And we've been selling Hondas for nearly 2 decades, or over 2 decades now. So we're well versed in how they're meant to drive. But this drives absolutely beautifully. As always though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.